Hey guys, it's Carolyn over here at That Golden Girl Life, and I am stopping by because so much is going on. I've been working on a blog post which I just published, which is containing the 7 lessons that I've learned from 34 years of marriage. So just finished that, published it to my blog URL, and I also just did an Instagram post to talk about the new release of that blog with some pictures. I know I've shared so many pictures of my latest wedding anniversary, as well as like from different years of our marriage, but it's really to encourage those out there that might have given up on love and think that it's not possible. So please ignore me with the number of posts on marriage or whatever, but it's definitely something that that I want to promote. But there's something else that's equally as important to me, and that involves taking care of yourself, your body, and just spirit, mind, everything that you can take care of. However, a lot of ladies out there struggle with their weight, and some have asked me, what do I do at 59? Because I will be 60 in December, January, February, in 3 months and some change. And so I am actually slimmer now at 59 than I ever was at even 19. And so it's such a blessing, but your girl is working out a lot. And I wake up at 4:50 in the morning, 5 days a week, and I work out for at least 2 hours, and I would say about 15 minutes. And so someone said, show us your workout. I can't show you my workout because 36 minutes of that is spent on an exercise bike, a recumbent bike, where I'm sitting and I'm actually watching Joyce Meyer while I do it. And then after I get off of the recumbent bike, then I start doing like a little calisthenics type stuff that's more like a freestyle. And so that part I'm going to tell you about right now, and I'll tell you about the other things that I do. Like one thing, after, I don't know if you can see this, but it's a mini stair stepper that you can get from Amazon or other sporting goods stores. And so like as soon as I get off the exercise bike, I do like maybe about 30 counts of these. This is something that you can do while you're watching television, and it feels really good on your knees, especially like where you've been sitting in the same position for a really long time for the recumbent stepper or a recumbent exercise bike. And so I do this like for a count of 30, like after I get off of the exercise bike. And so then once I'm done with that, I go out into the hallway and then have a battle rope. And then what I'll do is I'll share a picture of that on my blog or on my Instagram page, where like I'm out in the hall and I'm doing like this, for a count of 140. I don't know how I came up with 140, but before I do that, I forgot to mention that when I did physical therapy, when my left knee, I had a meniscus tear and they had to trim it. And so part of the physical therapy, they had me using bands, right? And foolishly, they're called booty bands, but I haven't seen any, help with my booty. But one thing that it does do is like it allows you to do some resistance training. And so as a physical therapist showed me, like in the area where I'm using the battle ropes, like I can go from the door that's in my basement over to the ping pong table, and like I'm just doing, that, and then like go all the way there and then all the way back. And then like I do like the monster step that they call it, and I do that. So I do 3 full circuits of that. And so that's to help, my thighs. It's to help the development and the repair of my knees so they feel really good. They claim that it helps that. It doesn't really help for me, but maybe if you play around with it and find exercises that are exactly for that, maybe that will give a benefit. But anyway, so I do the bands, then I do the battle rope, and then about this time, it's almost 6 o'clock. Well, no, before the 6 o'clock. And this is something you could do while you watch television too. I also do like 10 of these. And that's supposed to help your core. So like I do 10 of those, right? And that's something you can do while you're watching television, because like in order for you to lose weight, it's one thing to cut calories, but you also have to move. And so you can do this while you're watching television, because I heard that sitting is the new smoking, which is really horrible when you think about it. But what you definitely want to do is get up and move around as much as possible. And this is a common thing in the mornings at 4:52. I have a cup with 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, and I'm drinking that while I work out. So after I do my, like 10 like that, then I also do, and I just see things that I pick up from Instagram. I do like 5 of these, and then, I might do, 5 of these as well. And then after I do those, then I do 10 of these. And by this point, after I've done like 36 minutes on that recumbent bike, my heart rate is up because I've set it to a resistance of 4. And then after that, I'm there and I've done the stepper, and then, I'm doing like 10 of these. These are supposed to help, like with your side, like your obliques and whatnot. And so after I've done 10 of those, then I do 10 of these. And so again, I'm just making up a workout based on things that I might see on Instagram that different exercise instructors or physical therapist people wind up telling. And so because I know that I need to, work on my muscles, and I don't like to go to the gym and like lift or anything. A lot of people like to lift, but I'm big on just consistency. And because I do this every day, it seems to help. So what I have is, I have the 5-pound dumbbells, and so I also do this, and I do like one, this is 1 repetition, and I do that, right? And so I do 5 of those, and then what else do? I do 5 of those, and then I also do like 25 of these, like in order to help my triceps, to keep them firm. So I do 25 of those, and then or like a religious program, and then I also do, like just leaning forward, I do 10 of these. And then once I'm done with that, then I do, and again, you do your research, find things that feel good to you. That feels really good. I'm already working up a sweat just by doing this quickly. And another thing that I forgot to mention when I come in after doing the battle rope, this is a 15-pound slam ball. We have like Berber carpet, and so like I do 20 of these, like, to the right, to the left. So I do 20 of those. And so normally the reason it's called a slam ball is because you like slam it, bam. And then so, okay, so I do that, and then by that point, and I do 13, I'm so random, I do 13 push-ups. I do the male version, I'm on the floor, and I'm doing that. And so then, at that point, my 6 o'clock alarm goes off. Also, I forgot, I do a stability ball. I lay on that, and I do like about 30 sit-ups, and then like I stretch my legs out and touch them, like to help with the flexibility, right? And then there's a love seat in the office. I'm sitting on that, and then I'm doing, different exercises to help my knees. Whatever the people told me at physical therapy, I still do it in order to keep the same range of motion for my knees. And then another thing that I'm actually practicing, because I will be 60 soon, they usually talk about, how like older people, they have to do this to get up. So, like I'm doing like about, 10 to 20 of these, where I'm keeping my my thighs strong, so that I'm not having to touch things to raise myself, or like where you like plop on a toilet, or you have to hold on to something to get up. So that's one of the things I do as well. And so you could be doing this while you're watching television. The goal is just to move. Another thing that you could do too is like with a mini stepper. I see people talking about, just like doing this, just moving. That's all you're doing. And see, I fit this type of stuff in between the actual workout machines. So try that. And then I come up at this time, and it's about 6 o'clock, and Steve Harvey is on. And so I'm actually in this room in the dark over there, and I have his program playing on my app between the movement and the lights. That's what's getting me. And then probably being, older with the hormones or lack thereof, your girl is starting to sweat. So, but anyway, so Steve Harvey is on, and I'm listening to his motivational moment that he has. And the reason the stair stepper is in the kitchen is because like I'm holding on to, the counter, and I'm bending this knee the way they showed me to in physical therapy. So like I do that exercise to keep that range of motion, healthy and the way that it should be. So I keep the stair stepper in here. And then this other thing that a physical therapist I saw on maybe YouTube, she was talking about people who have knee issues, but this, and also physical therapy, they showed me this too, like where you're actually, doing like this. And then so I timed it, because she was saying do a minute each way. So I timed it, a minute is 70, like this way. So I do this, and so this is good for balance, and it's also good for the stabilizing thigh, the muscles there. And so like I do 70, that's a minute. And then going backwards, I do 60. So that's a minute that way. And then, like I said, it's in the dark. I have the flashlight on my phone, and Steve Harvey is talking while I'm doing this. And so then I do, 70 that way, and I'm pumping my arms. And I forgot to say, when I'm doing the booty bands too, I'm either doing this or I'm doing that, as I go back and forth to do the repetition. So 70 that way, and then 60 this way. Right? So then I get that done, and after I finish that, I do some stretches. Don't tell my husband, but I put my foot up on the side of the counter, and then, like I lean forward. And then also people are talking now about how your calves are like your second heart. And then the funny thing is that in physical therapy, they would have me do rocking back and forth, on my calves. And so I do 30 of these, and then holding on to the counter, I do another 30 for the knee that I had the surgery on, just to make sure it's healthy. And then, I'm standing there, don't look at my underarms, please. And then, so I do about 30 like this. Again, practicing on balance, loosening up my hamstrings for the next cardio that I'm going to do in the basement afterwards. So another 30 like that, right? And then, because this feels so good, I wind up doing 10 more of these. And so this adds up to about 30 more minutes of working out. So 10 of those, the 5 there, right? And then the 5 there. I'm just here, my husband's knocked out, and I'm down here doing all of this. And then I heard that this is good for your core, right? So I'm doing that, and you can do more if you want to, especially if you're not doing the 36 minutes beforehand on the recumbent bike. And then again with that, and then also 10 with that, right? And so I used to love to do calisthenics, like jumping jacks, but because the orthopedic surgeon saw arthritis in the knee, and he saw wear and tear because I was running for at least a decade. And so he says, I don't want you to do any running for exercise. You can run across the parking lot, but I don't want you to run. And so I listened, because he said, if you want your knees to last as long as they should, you will stop. And I listened, I did that. And so, but anyway, one of the things that he said, I said, can I still do jumping jacks? Because I used to do HIIT workouts. And he said, no. So instead, I do low impact, And so I don't even know what my underarms look like, because I haven't been, out and about in a long time, and I can't see because my glasses are off. So I do 30 of these, right? And then I do 30 of these, just to keep myself limber and flexible. And so by this point, it's about 6:15. So 15 minutes up here, 15 minutes that I did down there, and then after that, I go back down to the basement And then when the treadmill is working, it stopped working last week, and so I'm working with the manufacturer to get it, the software updated and where it's working right. But normally I get on the treadmill for 31 minutes, and then because I can't run, I utilize the incline feature. So I usually go like maybe an incline of 3, and then maybe 3 miles an hour, because walking really fast, I didn't realize, I think that's probably what led to my meniscus getting kind of raggedy in the first place, because I would put a lot of strain by walking like 4 miles an hour and stuff, in between the jogging for long periods. So then after I get off the exercise bike, then I do Pilates. And what I'll do is I'll share the link. There's a site called Move with Nicole on YouTube. And so she actually was instrumental in me getting lunges into the routine, because I didn't realize, I used to not do lunges of any kind. And so the physical therapist, as well as the orthopedic surgeon, they were telling me that I do need to do like some element of lunges and some squats and things. And like I said, I didn't want to do it, but now using the workout that I'm going to give you is the 30-minute power Pilates, because you're using the 5-pound weights, and then what else? Oh, and then she has like some of the like butt lifts that they would have me do, and one of the things I should mention, she would have you doing stuff like this. Again, you could watch television while you're doing that. And so she has like great workouts for your core, for your thighs, just for everything. It's just wonderful. It's almost like you're using your body like an exercise equipment piece or whatever. And so like I said, her channel is Move with Nicole, but I'll share the exact link to the 30-minute video that I do after all of that. So 36 minutes on the exercise bike, about 30 minutes of freestyle exercising that I do, and then 31 minutes on the treadmill. Or if I don't have the treadmill working, then I might say 20 minutes on the stepper. 20 minutes on the stepper, or 15 minutes, and then I'll do the other time on the recumbent bike, so that it adds up to a full 31 minutes. And then I do the 30 minutes of the Pilates. I do that 5 days a week. And on the weekends, when my treadmill is working, I do a full hour on the treadmill, and then my husband and I usually go out and walk outside for at least another 30 or 40 minutes. And but since my treadmill hasn't been working, what I've been doing is 36 minutes on the recumbent bike, and then this morning I did 24 minutes on the stepper, because it's Sunday and I need to go get ready for work and everything for the next day, because I'm going to be waking up at 4:50. And in case you're wondering, what do I wear? Like, what I do is a lot of times I'm wearing the same outfit, and so I wear something kind of raggedy like this, and then I just keep it laying on the side of the tub. And so like in the dark, I just grab it, I go. I'm not looking for outfits, because if you do in the morning, say, what am I gonna wear? The next thing you know, you'll talk yourself out of working out. So just have it laying on a banister as you head down the stairs or wherever you go. Just make sure it's laid out the night before. Grab that, go put it on, and then whatever your routine is gonna be. And then I'm not saying you have to wake up at 4:50 like I do. Everyone doesn't have a screw loose, and you don't have to work out in the morning at all. Maybe your time is at night. I like to get stuff out of the way. I like to wake up, and I like to get it popping. And so pick a time that works. Or even there were times where I used to work in a city area, and so I would just walk out during lunch and maybe walk for 40 minutes there. So maybe you could break it up. And there were times also when my kids were, in middle school and high school, and if I wanted to exercise, if I didn't exercise with them, I might be on the treadmill quizzing people on, a spelling test, or quizzing you on, whatever kind of history test or something that you might have. But I'm still working out. Sometimes I did it in the evening, sometimes I did it in the morning. The only thing that I can say is you definitely have to move. And you see I'm still talking here. I may as well burn up some extra calories because on the weekends I eat treats. And you know, Halloween just passed, so I've eaten a lot of treats. So even at 59, it's still a priority to work out. And you may not be able to do everything that you've done in the past. I can't stay on the treadmill anymore 99 minutes. I'm going over 7 miles 5 days a week. A doctor's told me that that's insanity. So I can't do that. I can't do the HIIT workouts that I used to do, but I can do these things that I named: recumbent bike, treadmills, booty bands, steppers, slam balls, push-ups, 5-pound weights, whatever it takes, hula hoop, dancing. Some people actually like to dance. So all of that said, I'm sure I've said enough to inspire you to do something. And then also look at the videos that are out on Instagram and on YouTube. Find a workout that works for you, and you get it popping so that you can live that golden girl life too. Because I know that you can do it. But anyway, now this golden girl life person has to get off and get dinner ready so we can eat dinner and get ready for the work week. But anyway, after this, the next video will be being fabulous at any age, because there's no age limit on it. And I have a lot of other good ideas as well. But this is just one of them that I want to be able to link to when I do a blog on that, so that people finally know what kind of working out I do. This feels really good. You should try it. Check Amazon. Or what I did, my son asked me one year, what did I want for Christmas? I said, hey, I saw a lady on YouTube doing this, and I asked for one, and so now I just get it and it feels great. Maybe it'll feel great for you too. And it also has hand resistance bands that you could use, but that's not really for me, and maybe I should ask my husband to take this off, but for right now it works. And now that's it. And I'm sorry I talked so long, but hopefully it helps someone. If it did, be sure to let me know. Well, anyway, guys, you have a great one, and hopefully you're living that golden girl life too. Until the next time.